Hey guys, welcome back to AdventuresOfWellUmMe, and it's been just over a week since Final Fantasy XVI came out, and I have played through the game once. I finished it on, I guess, the adventure mode, story mode, whatever it is, not the story mode, adventure play. I can't even remember what it's called. I finished the game once, and I've started the New Game Plus with Final Fantasy mode. I am going for the Platinum, which means that you do need to complete Final Fantasy mode. I think I've got 2 trophies left, which is complete the game in Final Fantasy mode, and I need to upgrade all of the icons' abilities to maximum for all the icons, rather than just a single icon, and then I'm done. But that's longer than it really needs to be, I guess. I finished my playthrough in about 65 hours, and that was including all the side quests that I could do, and pretty much unlocking everything that I could on my first playthrough, other than upgrading the icons, only because getting the ability points to upgrade the icons is going to take way too long to finish on just like your first playthrough. When you unlock Final Fantasy mode, you actually get the level cap doubled, so it goes from 50 to 100 in that transition, which I think is actually awesome because it allows you to fight against much higher level monsters in the second playthrough and continue to grow, and you don't feel like you're just overpowered the entire way. So I finished the game at level 49, level cap is 50, started New Game Plus, the Final Fantasy mode. The enemies that I was facing were at level 45 to begin with in the first areas, and that progressed up to sort of where I am now. I'm about level 54, 55 on my New Game Plus, and the enemies that I'm facing in the area I'm at are pretty much at the same level. So the difficulty has spiked dramatically compared to where it was when you do your first playthrough, and I actually really like that. I think that is one of the things that has made it sort of enticing to do a New Game Plus. In previous Final Fantasy games that I have played, the New Game Plus sort of just makes you super overpowered and you can rush through the game. I recently talked about Crisis Core and going for the Platinum in that, and that was one of those games where it was just so easy once you finish the first playthrough that I finished the game twice more just to get that Platinum. And even though I was skipping cutscenes and all, I kind of went through and finished things in a couple hours max, like 12 hours max. I played through the game like twice more and got the all the extra stuff that I needed. So that is one of those things that I guess is interesting about previous Final Fantasy games and New Game Plus. It just makes you like God mode, essentially. Whereas this one doesn't. It actually makes it really difficult for you to sort of make your way through and continue trying to beat everything in the game as it is. But, you know, that's what it is. With the Final Fantasy XVI game, I think that the story was really good. I think for a lot of players sort of towards the end, they might find themselves getting a little bit disinterested and such, because it just goes into this whole, you're fighting a god and you defeat the god and, you know, you go from there sort of thing. Like, it is a very overdone sort of JRPG thing, and for the rest of it, I felt like the game was very grounded in like more traditional fantasy. So you've got these warring factions going on, sort of medieval style. You've got a few characters that can use magic, and then you've got these, again, more minute character, not minute, a smaller group of characters that are able to harness icons, which are sort of like a god, I guess, the summons, which enable them to fight and really, I guess, dominate in battles throughout. And that's one of those things that, I guess, take it or leave it, it sort of makes it interesting because not everyone has those abilities. You do get to the point where essentially just as a protagonist, you are the all-powerful. But I think that the story is enjoyable enough. It's sort of like you're going out for revenge against this person that killed your brother. You then find out your own sort of hidden abilities and things in the past that you sort of neglected, and then you sort of rekindle relationships with different people throughout. and then you go and take on the big bad. So it's it's a good story of discovering oneself and moving on from past events that sort of have shaped your life in such a way because of how negative the experience was, but you learn from that, and I think that's awesome. You get these dramatic set pieces, these scenes, these fights with the icons, which are like the show-stopping parts, and they're fun, they're great. I think that playing through them, some people will enjoy them, some people probably won't enjoy that as much, because it does take you out of some of the more traditional role-playing game mechanics, I guess, and you become this giant monster in these fights. But overall, it's actually really exciting to play those parts, at least for me. I find that when I am playing a game, if I finish the game where I want to get that platinum, it means that I've really enjoyed the game. And that's the exact state that I'm in. Remember, I'm wanting to play the game. So I'm playing my second playthrough, and I'm loving it. I am. And the fact that it is more difficult, the second playthrough as well, has also been really good. So I'm enjoying that whole aspect. I enjoyed going through the different time frames. I've enjoyed learning the abilities and sort of working out which icons I prefer to use over others. And that's one of those things that I just think has been amazing in that whole process. With all of the I guess lead up to the game, and also sort of articles on that have been coming out since the game's release, there's a bit of controversy and things. Some people talking about how it's not their Final Fantasy because they've changed it to a more action game. I think, as it is, there are plenty of other aspects to almost all JRPGs that they change up their gameplay. Final Fantasy is always changing it up. We've still got 7 Rebirth coming out. We don't know exactly all of the mechanics of that. It's going to be slightly different to Remake, and I would assume different to this one again, because this one has been referred to more like a Devil May Cry style game. You know what? It was fun. I've enjoyed it. It's a bit different. I actually really like a traditional JRPG with turn-based combat, but I'm accepting the fact that it's different. It's made by a different team, made by a different group of people, and they're allowed to experiment in these different ways. It doesn't make the game not a Final Fantasy game, in my opinion. It's still very much grounded in Final Fantasy elements. Obviously, not all of them. Some things were missing. I saw one comment online where someone was saying they were disappointed that you have this whole desert area and they don't even have cactus in the game. I get it. That's sort of disappointing. But there are other things that they've got in the game that have carried through as well. The one thing that I found disappointing is you don't get the traditional Chocobo song when you're riding your Chocobo. But other than that, I've enjoyed almost all the aspects. The music is phenomenal. I still prefer Final Fantasy XV music over this one, but I do enjoy the way they've gone with the music in the orchestral aspect to this game. It's been rather enjoyable. I got the collector's edition, not the deluxe edition, not the collector's, not the limited edition one, the big one that had the statues and all that, but I did get the map of Valisthea here, this little cloth map, which I do want to look at framing and putting up in my house because it's absolutely awesome just having the map from the game. And also got the steelbook as well that came with it, which means I've also got the actual case, which I flipped the artwork around and swapped it from the more traditional artwork from all the advertising. And when I ordered it through EB Games, I also got another steelbook case. So I had 3 covers to choose from, which was absolutely ridiculous, but as is what it was. But I really enjoyed this game. I did. I think it's definitely a game action RPG fans would love, and I think the story is pretty good. I think a lot of the articles in different games journalism websites, really they just don't like either the company or they just don't like gamers anymore, to be honest, because I don't see any problems with any of the representation in this game, and they just have issues with it and are trying to get people to boycott the game and make up fake issues essentially. don't read any of those articles. I think you should just play it for yourself to determine whether or not it is something that you want to continue, I guess, supporting your own way. If you like the way the game's going, the representation, things like that, if that's something that's important to you, then check it out first for your own. Watch someone play it a little bit, or play the demo and see what you think of it that way. Don't read the articles, because the articles are just full of crap, to be honest. I just think that you're better off trying to explore for yourself, and if you don't like it, you don't like it, but don't go by what people are saying in these articles, because they are just full of crap. But, you know, other than that, I think that's all I want to cover at this moment. I'm going to go for that platinum. When I've achieved that platinum, I'll probably make another video to update you on sort of what I found difficult and what I didn't in the platinum process for that. Anyway, have a great day, guys, and I will catch you next time.